Yo, Ari Shang, where are we going today?
We're going to Singapore, Antarctica.
We go to Melbourne.
Yeah. You. Time, okay? We go from the back, yeah. Oh, a rainbow! Nice! They have reclined, nice. Solid flight, I think it was a bit turbulency, but like...
I think we're in Australia.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay. Sure, man. And head to the hotel. Hi, it's Commentary Ari here. First of all, this video will be a mix between video footage with audio, commentary and pictures, as my first mistake was not recording enough footage. However, I did take plenty pictures, all of which you can see on my Instagram under highlights on my profile. Apologies for any vertical video. I hate vertical video too, but I didn't think about it when recording this for Instagram. Oh, the blue table's over there. I'm slow. Major mistake, not coming to Worlds day 1. The flights from Hobart to Melbourne were cheaper on day 2 in the morning than day 1, but I really wish I came day 1 just to spectate feet. Also, due to the flight being in the morning, I ended up cancelling 4x4 because I suck at it and the flight conflicted with the 4x4 schedule. Now for some comments on the venue. It was really good. Plenty of seating space, and having the comp rounds on the back screen was super convenient to know when people were competing. The next mistake of my time in Melbourne was beer minks. Ew. Ready?
Hey.
11.81. So on day 2, I met with a bunch of internet rubricers who off the Reddit and the Reddit Discord. Really good people. It's great meeting you guys. A lot of them were ruers, unfortunately. So it was interesting to listen to them talk about like a bunch of different concepts and trying to persuade C4 people that were there to switch to Ru, which was interesting. I got some rubrics off the local cube vendor, including the Yueshao EDM and the Meilong 4, along with some Moyu loops. I'll make some videos on those later. Now on day 3, the actual day, I am competing in events that I partially care about. I was competing in 2x2 OH and 3x3. I interestingly got 2x2 and OH PB averages and a 2x2 PB single from not practicing, which was nice. Also, I need to buy a Volcam. I used Ronald's Volcam for OH and it's pretty good in my opinion. Now, for 3x3 I got a pretty like rubbish 10 average, which was like whatever. I knew that I would make the next round, which was nice, the next day afterwards. I had HSP at this Flinders Street kebab, which was actually really good. 10 out of 10 would go there again. And dinner at the food court, which was cool. Also, there was a Nations Cup after dinner, which was really nice to watch. I had to leave a bit way through, but it was really cool seeing the different teams go head to head. Congratulations to Germany who won, and which was interesting. My bets were on the either US or Australia winning, but Germany took it out again for the second time in a row. I bought Yuri's RSC as a signature cube, which for 20 bucks totally worth. RSC totally worth it. It's turned surprisingly okay, and got a bunch of people's signatures on it, which was cool. Oh, on day 3 I got some merch, which is pretty cool. Interesting thing is that the A from Sri Lanka is missing, and apparently it's missing on a bunch of people's jackets and shirts and stuff as well, so big rip. Oh, also day 3 I did this little bingo thing where I got this nice WCA mat and from the WCA booth, so that was cool. The middle row was like stupidly easy and people had figured that out, so I just kind of cheated my way through, but cool mat. For day 4, I had my 3x3 round 2 in the morning with a 9.8 average. Sadly, I didn't get my sub 9 average, which was kind of annoying because I got 2 8s at the start and started to panic. And yeah, here's the recons of them now. So for my first solve of my 9.8 average in like round 2 of Worlds, I had this weird cross that's like really long, where these 2 pieces, this was in the back, this was in the right layer, and these 2 on the front. So what I did was like, so what I did was an R2 prime, FR to insert these 2 edges, a D move, R prime FR to insert this blue edge, another D, R prime FR again to insert this orange, and then a D. So I could have done that nice little trick where you do, you solve 2 of the edges across from each other incorrectly, so the blue and the green would be opposite. R prime, F prime, L prime, D, L prime, and that solves these 2 opposite, or I could do a D2 to have this on the front, either way. That would have probably been a better cross, and I see a first pair here, which would have been nicer. However, what I did was that kind of trashy cross, but well. What I saw first was this blue and orange pair, where the collar is here and the edge is here. So I rotated back, did a U, took it out, which paired it up, then inserted it into the left, which was pretty okay. And then what I did next was this pair here, it was a similar case except like opposite on the left. And since I didn't really want to rotate, because if I were to rotate like here to solve it, it would leave me with 2 back slots unsolved. I left it here and just did it with F moves, which I think I'm pretty proficient at. So I solved it like that. So what I did afterwards, I actually looked ahead to this, which was nice, where I saw these 2, but I knew that the moves that I was about to do for this specific case would not affect this pair afterwards. What I did was an F prime, U prime F, U prime, to pair this up, and I knew when I would pair this up, these 2 would repair back into a nice formation so I can solve it into the back. Then I had OLL, and then a U perm. So that was the 8.89 solve with like 59 moves around 6 TPS, like mid 6 TPS, which is like okay, but I probably could have done a better cross solution than that first one. And for the last pair, with this here, and inserting into the back, what I did was I had a bit of hesitation actually before inserting it, so I did a Y then Y prime, as you may see in the video. This one here I had a pretty straightforward cross, so what I did, I had red front, and these 2 could be solved adjacent to each other, then I could do a D move to solve them into the correct places, and then an L2 and an R2 to solve these 2 last edges. So I did R prime, D prime, L2, and then what I saw here was this first pair. So what I did, because I kind of missed this pair here, and this pair here, I saw this, so I just did an R, U2, R to preserve them being connected to each other, even though they're unsolved, but I can solve that reasonably quickly. So what I did was a rotation, paired it up, so that they're here, then a U, then insert it into the back right. Then what I saw next, was this pair, so I did a U move, put this into its slot, rotated, U, paired it up into the here, and then insert it into the back. I think it was okay. It was a bit of a long solution, but then it ended up having me solving into the back, which was nice. Afterwards, I did U2, paired these 2 up, inserted it into the back, and then this last pair, where I could just do a U2, pair it up, and then sledgehammer to orient some edges. That gave me this OLL, and then I had a JPerm, which I did hesitate on, which was quite unfortunate. So that was like an 7 move TPS solve for my 8.69, which is the best solve of that average. So this solve was quite disappointing in my opinion. I stuffed up OLL and PLL. This could have probably been an 8 or something if I didn't stuff up so badly and didn't get that specific case, which we'll talk about in a second. So what I saw here was this edge already solved, this edge here, these two here. So what I did was an F, R prime F, to solve these two according to each other, a D, L and R to solve F to L. To solve cross. So what I did for some reason, even though there was a nice pair here that I could have done with lefty, or even this pair here, I didn't see that. My brain just locked onto these two. There was a nice first pair here which I could have taken out and inserted, but I didn't. Instead I locked onto this pair, which was kind of unfortunate because this was really easy. And it would have been the same anyway. What I did was a rotation, a U, then I separated them with L moves to pair it up, then inserted into the back right. Then what I did after that was this pair. Well, what I did was I paired it up into the front right slot, which was which leaves me with having to do a rotation. I should have just done it from this angle instead, into the back right, and then I would have been able to look ahead into these front slots, but I didn't, so that was unfortunate. So then afterwards I saw this pair, paired it up, inserted it pretty regular. What I could have done here for this last pair was I could have done what I could have done here is just a sledge and then an insert, which is pretty easy, but for some reason I didn't, and instead I ended up doing this, taking the pair out, then inserting it with F moves. So this is where I really stuffed up with the OLL, so this is what I did wrong. I kind of hesitated with the moves here, and then did it. This is quite a risky alg, because it requires those funky, like an F, R prime F. I think it's a hedge slammer, and then that, so that was a bit of a shame, but oh well. And then afterwards I had PLL, which was this A perm, and I really stuffed up the D moves on this. I think my nerves were just getting to me, so yeah, that was the 10.62 solve with like 6 TPS, so that's pretty rubbish. And for this solve, this was quite a pity as well, because I got a +2 on a 10, so that ended up making the previous 10 accounting, which is kind of a shame. So what I did for cross was I saw these two here. This was already solved with the red, so what I did was I did an L, R prime, F, R, and looking ahead to this this piece here, I knew that this piece, I thought that this piece would come here, but it wouldn't, because with the last few moves of the cross, D, L prime, D prime, it came here. So yeah, that took a bit of hesitation. So after I found that, I rotated, paired it up, then inserted that pair into the left, and then what I saw afterwards was these two. So I rotated here, paired it up for some reason, like this, then rotated back to insert into the back. I could have just used this front slot, but I didn't because I'm bad. Afterwards, rotated here and solved into the back right by doing this. And then had this last pair here. And then I got this OLL, I stuffed up OLL again. So kind of some like shaky hand movement there in the video. That kind of sucked. And then I had this Y-perm. You can see my Y-perm video. I quite like the alg, but just on the cube I was using, I ended up just locking up and AUFing the wrong way. And then I stopped the timer and +2, so that was a shame. So what I had was kind of funky cross solution, but it was alright. Where I had this on front, so I did an L2, so what I did was this, okay, I did an L2, F and a B at the same time, R prime, and then another F prime, and then I did a D prime. So a couple things about this cross. First of all, with this solution, I didn't see this, but this corner ended up being solved, so I could have done a U2, inserted it, and then had an X cross, but I didn't. So a way I could have done this cross that was a bit better, would have been better, is an L2, F, R prime, F, and then a B, which leaves this in the top layer, but I didn't see that during the solve, which was unfortunate again. After cross, which was a bit silly, but oh well, I rotated 3 times, which was really stupid. Y prime, Y prime, Y prime, then got here, and then I ended up doing, no. So what I ended up doing was this pair into the back, so I took it out, U prime, then inserted it into the back, so that was 4 rotations, which is really unnecessary. And then I did a U, and then what I found next was this pair, sledgehammer, insert, and then I rotated back over here, did a U prime, and then saw this pair. And then I knew here from look ahead that this would be, the corner would be up and I could cancel into a sledgehammer. And then, so what I did was a U, it was inserted into the back. Instead of doing this, I just immediately went into the sledgehammer, then inserted it, which was a good cancellation, I guess. And then had a Ola, which kind of sucked. And then a Y perm again. However, I got a 9.89, so that ended up kind of partially saving the average, making it sub 10, which was nice, I guess. So yeah, that was the breakdown of my 5 solves. Okay, back to commentary. For spectating was really fun, especially for 3x3 finals. Having them go to head was really cool to watch in person, along with some of the people from the Reddit cubers and all over the place, from all over the world. And yeah, an interesting pairing to watch was Keon versus Sean, who both use Rue and they both made finals. And yeah, it was really cool to watch finals. Congrats to Philip Via, I don't know, getting the title of Rubik's Keyboard champion. Good job. Sean for getting 2nd place, and he's only 11, which is really cool. And Philip's brother Sebastian for getting 3rd. So that was cool seeing brothers up on the podium as well. Awards, it was really sad to have to go. We had dinner at KFC and yeah, watched Stanley do some blind, which was pretty cool. He failed nod on dough. And yeah, I had to say goodbye to a bunch of the people I met, which was kind of sad. Yeah, but it was really good meeting a heap of people at Worlds and getting a heap of people's signatures. I wish I took more photos. So in day 5, the day afterwards, we just kind of went around Melbourne looking at the shopping centres, and in day 6 it was go home, which was kind of sad. Oh, a bit of a mistake I did here was we booked a 9 PM flight and we got to the airport like 6 hours early. Oh, and I also met Anto at the airport, which was cool. Yeah, so that basically, I think, sums up my experience at Worlds. It was really fun, and I wish that it went for longer, honestly. Meeting people, trying people's cubes, just competing at such a really cool, large venue was a great experience, and 10 out of 10 would do again. Yeah, thanks for watching, and expect some reviews on cubes and stuff in the future. Hit the subscribe and stuff. See ya.